Ronaldo edges closer to another record. The international break comes to a close. There's injury worries to Spurs, a transfer roundup, and today's great debate, all coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host, Matt Frodak. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First off, and Cristiano Ronaldo does what Cristiano Ronaldo does. Sets his sights on records and then absolutely smashes them. Right now, he is only 16 goals away from Iran's Ali Daei's all-time record of international goals in the men's game. That stands at 109, and now Cristiano Ronaldo is at 93 after scoring 4 goals in Portugal's 5-1 victory over Lithuania. The Juventus forward started the goal scoring with a penalty and then added 3 other goals before William Carvalho added the finishing touches, and it now means that unbelievably Cristiano Ronaldo has 8 hat-tricks for the Portuguese team, and he also did score 4 in a game against Andorra 3 years ago. I know those of you are going to bring up this same argument, oh, he's only scoring against Andorra, whatever. He scored against every single team. He has to do it. He goes out and he tries to score as many as possible every single game. Of course, the better the team, the better the defence, the harder it is. Come on, use your footballing brains. And alongside this, there was also a hell of a lot of international football, as there has been in the last week or so, as the international break draws to a close, and finally, we get back to club football this weekend. Elsewhere though, and Antoine Griezmann missed his second penalty in 4 days, although it didn't really matter as France won 3-0. Kosovo became the first team since Croatia back in 2007 to score 3 or more goals against England in a competitive fixture away from home. It was a crazy game which eventually saw England win 5-3. This after conceding to Kosovo after just 38 seconds. At the end of the first half, it was actually 5-1, so technically they lost the second half 2-0 with Harry Kane missing a penalty. It just had to happen, didn't it? After all this talk in the last few days about how brilliant he is, he goes and misses one. I say misses one, it was a pretty good save from the keeper, so it wasn't actually too embarrassing for the English striker, and I've no doubt he'll step up and take one again. But continuing on with the theme, there was also a fantastic win for Peru, who beat Brazil and ended their 17-match unbeaten run. Albania scored 4 for the first time in their whole history as they beat Iceland 4-2, and a massive victory for Thailand, who put 3 past Indonesia in a 3-0 victory. Yeah. So with the international break almost over and the Premier League back, as I've mentioned, Tottenham have a few injury worries. Jovan Lo Celso, the big summer signing on loan from Real Betis, and it looks like they're going to be buying him next summer, is currently out for 6 weeks. He was away with Argentina on international duty, and last Thursday against Chile got injured, and it looks like he won't be playing back in the first team until the beginning of October. If you add this to the fact that Tanguy Ndombele got injured in the first few games of his Spurs career, although it does look like he'll be fit for the weekend's visit of Crystal Palace according to Mauricio Pochettino, things haven't started too well for Spurs' new signings. How on earth is it that 2 players who have a virtually clean injury record come to Spurs and then get injured? Is it something to do with the medical staff, or are they just unlucky? So next up, and we're moving on to the transfer section, of course, and if Chelsea manage to get their ban overturned, they're going to go straight in for Nice's Youssef Attal for around £35 million. Fiorentino Luis, the Benfica midfielder, is attracting the attention of Manchester United, who are also looking to open contract talks with Jesse Lingard for some reason. And lastly but not least, PSG chief Leonardo still wants to sell Neymar. So lastly but not least, because it's Wednesday, we come to this week's great debate where our Onefootball newsroom put a question to you guys, of which you can see their answers and my answer in the relevant article in the app. But for the comment section, for all of you watching, we want to know, if your life depended on it, who would you have take a penalty? There are of course so many penalty takers out there with fantastic records, but you can also go for someone who you think has the best technique, or you just really like that player. For me, I'm going to go for Harry Kane. I know loads of you are going to be like, what? You're so biased. Yeah, it's my decision. I asked the question to you guys. You can have your answer. I can have mine. Anyway, as for Harry Kane, his stats are pretty unbelievable. 19 of the 22 Premier League penalties he's taken have found the back of the net, and 7 out of 8 competitive penalties for England have also been scored. With this though, he does have fantastic technique regardless whether he misses or not. Of course, he's just another football player and he may miss a penalty once in a while, but the consistency with the way that he hits the penalty means he's going to score way more often than he doesn't. So make sure you let me know your thoughts on this week's great debate and the rest of today's daily news and the international break in the comment section down below. Whilst you're there, you can also smash the like button and don't forget to click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.